the commentary room as well. I think that'll update any moment, and they are indeed getting ready to go here. So they are off. Layout's updated. We're going. Underway. So we see all 4 runners are grabbing the mushroom in 1-1. That is the safest race strategy. It means you don't have to do any of the tight sections in 1-2 as Small Mario, which could kill you. You also don't have to play 1-2 safe because you have the firepower when you grab that in 1-2. So you don't have to slow down, do any safe strategies there. So you can just fireball away the Koopas and the Goombas, and all 4 runners will be heading into 1-2. We'll get them synced up here in just a little bit, but in the meantime, going into 1-2, I'm sure we will see all of these runners grab a fire flower here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They have all grabbed the fire flower. Looks like Kaku is the first to the Koopa Goomba section, but of course, you know, we are a little desynced in terms of the starting times and everything, so close enough. It looks like Sweets and Kaku are about neck and neck, and Sweets gets through the level with a 3:47 on the timer. Kaku a 3:45 on the timer, so nicely done by Sweets to the Sweets there. Meanwhile, on the top, SuperBigKMart did take a hit after grabbing the firepower, but grabbed another mushroom, so SuperBigKMart is now just normal Big Mario, and will look to power up either in 1-3 or 1-4, depending on where he's comfortable with. Also, celebrating with a little bit of fireworks. So if you get a 1, 6, or 3 in the 1's digit of the timer at the end of a level, you will get fireworks, and those fireworks will cost you no time if it's 1, 1.5-ish seconds if it's 3. It could be either 1.4 or 1.75, something like that. And then about 3 seconds if you get 6 fireworks. They're all a little bit variable just because of the way this game works in terms of frame rules. You can be on one or the other frame rule for these different fireworks, but I like to say approximately 1.5 for 3 fireworks and approximately 3 seconds for 6 fireworks. Oh, and Sweets takes a hit to Bowser there as Kaku gets the fire kill. So Kaku with an early advantage, keeping the firepower, so Sweets will have to power back up. But the other advantage was by doing a fire kill there, Kaku goes straight to after he touches the axe, goes straight to hang out with Toad, whereas Sweets to the Sweet has to wait for Bowser to collapse, or the bridge to collapse, and then Bowser to fall in the lava. So that does cost Sweets some time as well. Meanwhile, up at the top, ZZZ taking a hit there. Not quite what ZZZ wanted there, but there is a power-up right there. SuperBigKMart not too far behind ZZZ PC here. So looks like we got the runners all synced up, and we are going into 2-2 for the runners here. Not too far apart between all 4 runners at this point in time. SuperBigKMart, a little bit of a trampolining there. Yeah, does the smart thing and hops back off the spring and back on and grabs the flagpole. So ZZZ does not have firepower, which is pretty tough in the water section. So especially as Big Mario. So I believe ZZZ did the duck swim if I looked correctly, but a nice safe swim here for ZZZ. Meanwhile, Sweets and Kaku are power up as Big Fire Mario, and they'll be able to fire the enemies out of the way. Sweets getting a really trolly pattern and taking a hit to the blooper there. So a lot of action early on in these runs. Kaku, though, clean through 2-2, ahead of all of the runners at this point. ZZZ gets a nice swim, a 3:05 on the timer at the end of the level. 3:10 would be perfect, but of course trying to play it a little bit safe since ZZZ did not have firepower there. Meanwhile, SuperBigKMart does have firepower, and a really nice swim, getting a 3:12. That'll, with the buffer jump here, also put it at a 3:05. So all square for ZZZ and SuperBigKMart in 2-2. We are in 2-3. You see ZZZ grabbing a power-up there, and now is back to Big Fire. And Sweets looking to power up after taking that hit in the 2-2 water section. Oh my goodness. Tight squeeze there in between the Cheeps. But Sweets does get the power-up without taking a hit or a death there. So nicely done by Sweets. And Sweets will look to power up in 2-4 to become Big Fire Mario once again. And Sweets certainly not out of this. There is always the potential for a mistake by the opponent, and Sweets would be right back in it. Kaku, meanwhile, in 2-4, completing the level there with a nice Bowser kill, 260 on the timer, and 261 on the timer for ZZZ, so the fastest Bowser kill that we've seen so far. We'll see if SuperBigKMart or Sweets can match the 261. Kmart playing it a little safe on the elevator section, a good strategy there, good race strategy there, and Sweets getting the 256 Bowser kill. Kmart, 253. We're in 3-1 now. The trickiest part is right here at the end. You see Kaku going on these stairs, and well done by Kaku. A 347, that's perfect in 3-1. You can shoot the first Koopa out of the way and jump over the second, or you can shoot both Koopas out of the way. So it depends on your strategy. We saw both Kaku and ZZZ shooting the first Koopa and going over the second Koopa with a turnaround jump. We'll see what Sweets chooses to do here. Also the same strategy. And we'll see what SuperBigKMart does. Safer stairs, that is also a good option there in a race to make sure you keep your power up. So on to 3-2. Should be one of the easier levels in the run for most of the speedrunners. Hopefully no commentator's curse here. I feel like every time I say this is a more comfortable level or an easier level, something happens, and that is why we race these in tournaments. We don't play them on paper. And there is SuperBigKMart taking a hit in 3-2. These levels are not as easy as they sound, even though, you know, I say it's on the easier side of things. There still is potential for things to happen and go wrong. So SuperBigKMart grabbing a power-up, though. So where they lost the power-up was right next to another one, being able to grab that mushroom there quickly. And what I like to say about these Warpless tournaments is it's often not about whether you take a hit or not. Certainly, obviously, you don't want to, but if you do take a hit, it's all about your recovery skills. How well are you at recovering, not getting rattled, being able to get your power-ups, being able to press on and make the fewest amount of mistakes possible after that. So that is what it takes to be a successful tournament racer. All right, 3-4, we see a great kill there from London. You see all the players taking safer strategies by waiting on the Potaboos. That is definitely the preferred strategy in a race setting, especially if you don't know what the pattern is going to be. You kind of wait on that Potaboo, and then you just start going over them one by one as they kind of descend on their way down. Alrighty, we are heading into 4-2. Are you top route or bottom route in 4-2? We will find out. We've got 4 runners to look at, top route versus bottom route, with Kaku heading into 4-2 first among all the runners. Kaku going up to the top. That is one on team top route. And ZZZ going team bottom route. So one of each. Kaku with a 349. 350 would be perfect. Kaku will have to do a little buffer jump on the stairs or bop off the block there to make sure not to get fireworks. Meanwhile, Sweets the Sweet also going bottom route. So 2 bottom route, 1 top route at this point in time. And then we get to wait and see what SuperBigKMart does. Meanwhile, Kaku progressing through 4-3, as is ZZZ right behind. And looks like SuperBigKMart is also going bottom route. So 3 on the bottom and 1 on the top route here in this particular set of 4 runners. And 255 on the timer for ZZZ. Not quite optimal. There was a little bit of a bonk and a slowdown there for ZZZ. That'll allow SuperBigKMart to catch up just a touch. But Sweets to the Sweets on the bottom left there, powering through, getting the optimal 261 on the timer. Meanwhile, Kaku in 4-4. This is a maze level and one of the harder Bowser fights in the game, so let's pay attention to Kaku right here. Excellent Bowser fight, 347. That's what you like to see. Gonna be hard for Sweets to make up a lot of time there. You can get, without the clip, you can get like a 348, but it's gonna be pretty tough to get a 348. So Kaku doing well to not let Sweets close the gap much, if at all, and we'll see how Sweets does in the Bowser fight there. 1 ball and 4 balls on Bowser, 5 shots on Bowser, and Sweets to the Sweets with a nice 348 kill on Bowser. So maybe actually making up time on Kaku there. Well done by Sweets. Kaku with the perfect 247. Meanwhile, on the top right, ZZZ also plowing through 5-1 and gonna get the perfect 247 as well. And now SuperBigKMart doing a bunch of jumps on the bottom there. That's not what you want to do. Didn't realize he would reset the maze by doing that, and hits the fire bar as a result. Don't do those jumps, because those jumps will actually trigger whether the maze works or not. So SuperBigKMart doing the jumps on the bottom there and accidentally resetting the maze, because it looks at your vertical point and at a certain position. So if you're doing those jumps, it'll think you're higher than you are, and it will reset the maze. So SuperBigKMart had to go through the maze twice in 4-4. Alrighty, Kaku in 5-3. Bless RNG on the bullet bills. A close shave there, and another one there. We saw Kaku doing the buffer strategy at the start, and didn't get the best patterns for that buffer strategy. So really tough set of patterns there for Kaku. Oh, another nice dodge, and Kaku really had to take that level as safe as possible, given the patterns that was thrown at him there. Meanwhile, Sweets in 5-3, starting off there, going over that tough bill, taking a little bit of a detour there, and a double bop there. Great dodge by Sweets to not take a death there. Well done by Sweets. It's not going to be optimal, but hey, it is going to be... Oh, and Sweets gets the 6 fireworks, so... to say it's not going to be optimal, but at least it was clean for Sweets. But then the 6 fireworks were certainly not ideal. Meanwhile, ZZZ and Kaku finishing off 5-4. I missed what happened to Kaku, but Kaku taking a hit in 5-4. Oh, and Sweets takes a spill in 5-4. Right as Sweets had the opportunity to close the door a little bit, Sweets taking a spill there. That is unfortunate, and Kaku will maintain the advantage. So Kaku will grab power-ups in 6-1. There are 2 pretty comfortable power-ups to grab, and all powered up once again for Kaku. Meanwhile, ZZZ has taken the overall lead among the 4 runners. Now, this is not a race between all 4 runners. It's the top 2 versus each other, and the bottom 2 versus each other. But at this point in time, at least, ZZZ is furthest ahead of all the runners. We are heading into 6-2. 6-2 being a repeat, not a repeat, being one of the more fun, I was thinking ahead to the World 7, being one of the more fun levels in the game, where you get to snipe a bunch of piranha plants out of the way if you have fireballs. So one of the more technical levels, but one of the more fun levels if you are used to speedrunning the Warpless category. SuperBigKMart coming up on the 5-4 Bowser and making nice clean work there of 5-4, and now all of our runners are in to World 6, and a solid run for SuperBigKMart at this point, especially with a PB of 2240. Very close to PB pace here for SuperBigKMart, so let's keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, the 2 runners on the right side of your screen are in 6-3. Sweets to the Sweets coming through 6-2, trying to play a little bit of catch-up, and we'll need a little bit of help from Kaku to do so. And we are in the 6-4, and when I was talking about repeat levels, this is a repeat level. 6-4 is a repeat of 1-4, but there are more fire bars and there are more potaboos in this than in 1-4, so it makes it a little more challenging to get through. You see both the runners on the right doing a little bit of a safe strategy where they wait on that fire bar right after the question block, and that'll set up good bars for the rest of the hallway there. And then you just get to kill Bowser. Bowser throwing a lot of hammers and creating some lag there as well. SuperBigKMart doing nice in 6-2 to keep the power up and plow on through there. Meanwhile, Kaku and ZZZ in 7-1, and Sweets going into 6-4. We'll see what strategy Sweets does in 6-4 here. Under the first potaboo, waiting on the fire bar and setting up the good bars for the rest of the hallway there. And Kaku does take a hit in 7-1. Gonna power up here. So that might open the door for Sweets just a little bit. There was an opportunity for a bullet bill glitch, but not gonna take it. We are into the repeat level 7-2 and then 7-3. Both of these are repeats of 2-2 and 2-3, but with more enemies. As we see, SuperBigKMart taking an unfortunate death there in 6-3. And Kaku is big vulnerable Mario, or sorry, big regular Mario. So Kaku can take a hit and not lose power up, but does want to be, or sorry, not lose the the power up, the big Mario state, but and then would turn to small Mario, but certainly doesn't want to, because Kaku will want to grab the power up in 7-3 to get back to big Fire Mario to go into World 8. So we'll keep an eye on that. I do have to mute my mic for just 1 second. I need to attend to something here. So we'll do that while we're in the repeat levels of 7-2 and 7-3. Give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, you all. But we are back. Everything is okay here, and we are in 7-4 for ZZZ, and Kaku also entering 7-4. I didn't get to see if Kaku got to pick up the power up. Still in the big Mario state there, so I'm guessing maybe either skipped the power up or tried to go for it and took a hit and got the power-up, but didn't get to see what happened. But Sweets to the Sweet's grabbing the 7-3 power-up. So now in the same state as Kaku, but about a full level behind. So Kaku maintaining the advantage there, and Sweets missing a jump and taking a death. Unfortunate there. Meanwhile, SuperBigKMart in 7-2 water section. And ZZZ up there plowing through 8-1, firing everything out of the way, killing everything. I love it. I love it. All the enemy kills. Let's go. Rack up those points, ZZZ. I don't know if there's an enemy ZZZ hasn't killed yet. I mean, I'm being a little sarcastic, but I love it. I love to see all the different fireball shots and all the enemies. Just getting every single Koopa there, every single Piranha. Nicely done. And Kaku, meanwhile, as small Mario here in 8-1, so needs to be careful. The unique thing about World 8 is if you take a death in World 8, you go all the way back to the beginning of the level that you take a death in. So you do not want to take a death in World 8, especially at the end of the level. Got to be careful on these stairs, for example. Kaku getting a 195, which is a really good time for small Mario in a race setting. Because you certainly don't want to go with ZZZ taking a bop off the Koopa there, almost into the hole, but doesn't go into the hole and finishes out a clean 342. Nicely done by ZZZ. I was going to say, you definitely don't want to risk pipe jumps and stuff in a race setting unless you absolutely need them. So smart decisions there by Kaku to get a 195 there in 8-1. And powering up in 8-2 is Kaku on the bottom right of your screen here. And we'll continue through the level to get a 332 on the timer. Meanwhile, we see Sweets with an interesting 8-1 strategy. Grabbing the star, I like it. That means, speaking of plowing through 8-1, Sweets can just run through all of the different enemies as they go through the level there. So a nice 189 for Sweets to the Sweets. Kaku, meanwhile, in 8-3 as Big Mario. Gonna go for this power-up. Has to wait on the hammer, bro. Actually skips the power-up. Just gonna go on. And knowing that as Big Mario can afford one hit in the Hammer Bro Gauntlet and still be okay. And there is that hit on the Hammer Bro Gauntlet. Gotta go through with the iframes and get through and not take a hit in... gonna get 3 fireworks, but do not take a hit in 8-4 and take that death. ZZZ into the second to last room, the water section here. So ZZZ about to be the first runner to complete it out. Shouldn't have too much trouble. As long as the ZZZ makes it through this water section, they will be good to go. Can take iframes through to the end if needed. So ZZZ will be the fastest of the 4 here. But again, there will be 2 winners in this. ZZZ taking a hit to Bowser's Hammers, a 1930 GG's for ZZZ. Meanwhile, Kaku into the turnaround room almost gets a cheap to the face. That could have changed things big time, but just barely avoiding that cheap. Holy cow. Oh, man. That was so close. And Kaku gonna come through the water section. Got the Hammer Bro, Potaboo, and Bowser. Just don't over-risk it here on this Potaboo. That was a low Potaboo, so good thing not to challenge that. Forward Bowser, GG's Kaku, 20-02 on the timer. And Kaku will take the victory over Sweets to the Sweets as well. So very nicely done by the two runners on the right, our winners, ZZZ and Kaku, both of our Japanese runners in this tournament. I mean, there's more Japanese runners in this tournament. Both of our Japanese runners in these two particular matchups will take the victories. So that'll move ZZZ and Kaku onto higher records there. ZZZ moves to 2-0. Kaku moving to 2-1. Meanwhile, Sweets to the Sweets will go to 1-1 with a match still to come versus Mars. If Sweets were to beat Mars in that matchup, there could be a three-way tie, and we would come to tiebreaker there. So still important for Sweets to the Sweet to finish out this run and put up as good a time as possible, because in that three-way round robin scenario, it would come down to average or total time in the head-to-head matches there. So you want to make sure you put up as good of a time as possible. So, total group time. So definitely keep plowing through. And GG's for Sweets, finishing exactly 1 minute behind Kaku with a 21-02. So 21-02 there for Sweets. And let's cheer on SuperBigKMart. A chance to finish out this run in a sub 2040. So I know the PB on speedrun.com is a 2241. So can get a sub 2241 here if he's quick enough. All right, into the wall jump room. And does the coin block reveal there, I should say. And gonna come to the turnaround room. SuperBigKMart turning around. 2 rooms left. Let's go, SuperBigKMart. Duck under the fire bar. Nicely done, the fire bear. And unfortunate taking a hit to that one. Gotta make sure you do the full jump here to squish the Hammer Bro. Oh no! Hammer Bro pulls out a hammer. And unfortunately, SuperBigKMart will not get the sub 2240. But still a really good opportunity of being on pace there all the way through the run for SuperBigKMart. So still a really nice run to be that close to potential PB pace that late into the run. All right, one more time through the turnaround room. Nicely done. And into the water section. Hopefully no hits to the fire bars this time. Gonna wait this one out. I think that's a wise move. Stay on the bottom here. Take the walk if you need it. And into the final room one more time for SuperBigKMart. Gets over the Hammer Bro this time. Past the Potaboo. Waiting on Bowser. Come on, Bowser. There we go. 23-25. Get your GGs out for SuperBigKMart as well. Really nicely done by all of our runners here. So, 4 good runs. We got the 1930 from ZZZ, the 2002 from Kaku, the 2102 from Sweets, and the 2325 from SuperBigKMart. So, great set of runs there by all of our runners, and we will see if anybody can or wants to do an interview. So I will just check on that. And yeah, let me real quick while we're waiting on that talk about the schedule. We have 2 races scheduled tomorrow. We have Dodge Master Dooley versus Dr. Mustache at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then followed by actually 3 matches, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We got Supersonic versus JT Knot, and an hour later, 10 p.m. Eastern, Supersonic once again versus London B415. And we do have SuperBigKMart here. So, SuperBigKMart, GG's on the run. You had a time of 23 minutes and 25 seconds, but you had a chance there at the sub 22:40 going into the last room. So you got to be pretty pleased with getting close to, consistent 22s.
At the beginning of the week, I didn't expect to do that at the end of the week. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased. Hard work paid off, and I'm pretty happy with my tournament.
Yeah, so I think that's all 3 matches for you because you faced KT right before this one. Is that right?
Yeah, you're correct.
And did you have a good tournament experience? What did you think of it?
It was great. At the beginning, I think I get my goal. My goal was to have sub 22 minutes, which I did on my race against Kitty. But I want to retime it to be sure. So far, the tournament was great. I love Super Mario's games, so it was a pleasure.
Well, we definitely liked having you join the tournament. It's always great. I know you're a little bit newer to the Warpless category, but do you think you will see yourself maybe trying to get more PBs in this game?
I would be back on SMB1 for sure, but actually I want to speedrun all the Super Mario games, so I don't know when I'll be back, but I'll get a lot of fun once I get the hang of it, because as everybody know, each Super Mario games are different. So and this one, sometimes when you jump, Mario's don't respond the same way that in all games. So
so which Super Mario game are you planning on running next?
I'm still thinking about it. Surely Super Mario World. For a couple of months that I said that I want to be back on it, but I entered that tournament, so I put back the project. But who knows? I'm not definitely. I don't know yet. I want to think about it in the next weeks. So.
Good. Well, we very much enjoyed having you in this tournament, and GG's in all your runs, and on the couple of 22s, and just wanted to say thank you for participating, and we hope you can join us again next year for the tournament, because we do this every year.
Yeah, I was sure I will be back. I'm pretty sure of it, but. So I can't wait for the tournament next year, and be even better, and even pass through the group phase. But so
good. Well, thank you once again for participating, and GG's again on your runs. Real quick, I just wanted to say, make sure to all of you out there to keep tuning into the SpeedGaming family of channels. Right now, over on the main SpeedGaming, they have a Z1 rando going on, and so that's what they got on the schedule right now. And also, make sure to follow the runners. 4 great runners here. We've got SuperBigKMart, Kaku, ZZZPC, and of course, Sweets to the Sweets as well. So. Congrats to all 4 of our runners. Very nice runs. And tune in tomorrow. We've got 3 races scheduled, 3 really good ones. So we will see you all tomorrow. And once again, make sure to check out that Z1 rando over on the main SpeedGaming channel. Shout outs to Rupert for putting on this tournament. And we will catch you all tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.